Hi, welcome to School Gear. We are going to be talking about assignments. Assignments are those exercises that you send to students. Assignment is built in two steps. Step one, you just build questions, and later when you will be giving an assignment to students, you will come back to already existing questions and you pick some questions that you give as assignment. Follow this structure to understand better. You are in your computer, you are building questions. You build question, this is as a question, resolve x plus 2 equals to 0. You save it, you add another question, is oxygen a solid? You add another question, count shapes, 3 shapes, another question, another question. You are saving your questions in the database. This is not yet an assignment, it's just a list of questions that are available in the system. You are continuing adding, questions are now here. So when it's time to give assignment to students, you come, then you create assignment number. For example, now I'm going to add assignment number 1. I'm going to choose in my questions. I already have questions here. I'm going to add questions to this assignment. So I add this assignment, resolve x plus 2 equals to 0, and here I set the maximum, the score of this question in this assignment. I can go ahead and add another assignment. I say count shapes, and I give this out of 3 points. This one is an assignment that is ready to be sent to students. This is built from a list of questions. Questions are first built in the system and later sent to students in the group of assignment. So you can have a million of questions in your database, and later pick 1 or 2. If you want to give an assignment, you will be picking from your questions. So this is the assignment 1. You can go ahead and give assignment 2. Assignment 2, you can come and pick another question. I've kept this one. I can take another question here, resolve. This question is coming back, it's coming again, but with this difference of the score. It means I'm taking the same question in different assignment. That is the advantage of having first build those questions. Can add another question. So here I've added 3 questions to my assignment. This assignment is having only 2 questions. So the limit is your choice. You can add an assignment with only 1 question, or add an assignment with 3 questions. And you can even add another assignment and take more questions from here and here. So you understand that questions are built first and assignments are built later, but from existing questions. We will see together how to build these questions, and how to build these assignments so that you can send them to students. Now, let me show you, let us go deep and see how these questions are. Because questions are something that you build in the computer. So how do you build those questions? Because in the system, you don't upload a PDF or a Word document. You build the questions in the system. So the questions are in different types. There is a question that you ask a student, and the answer would be in one line. For example, you can say, what is the most important gas in the earth, for example. You can say like that. Or what is the most important element in our atmosphere? The answer would be one single line. For example, the student can say it's oxygen. Or maybe the student would say, no, it's hydrogen. So the answer here is one line. So the type of this question would be single line. So the answer here is one line. But there can be another type of question. You can ask a question where you are considering writing essay. The student will answer in multiple lines. Here, for example, you can say, describe describe the game of football. Describe how you saw the players of football. That is an example. I'm not a teacher. I don't know how to ask question to student, but you can understand that this question, the student will write a long text. He can write a long text, and also there is a possibility of adding images, of adding some rich editing. For example, the student can say, you can ask a student to paint something, and after he paints, he upload or he takes a picture of his final image and sends it as a result. So you will use this one, a multiple line, so that the student will be able to add an image on the question or on the reply. There is another type of question that is called checkbox. Checkbox is a multiple choice questions where you can give, for example, you can say, uh, from the list below, choose the maybe you can say, from the countries listed below, choose or tick the countries that are in East Africa. So there is a possibility of more than one answer. For example, if you are giving like Ethiopia, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Zimbabwe, so the answers would be Rwanda, Burundi, and Uganda as correct answers. This way, you are building a multiple choice questions, but with the possibility of checking multiple answers. I don't know if this one is clear. Here, you are building a multiple choice question. There will be multiple choices, but also multiple possibilities, multiple correct answers. After this, let me tell you what is another type of question that is called radio button or radio. This also is a multiple choice questions, but this one we give to students only one possible answer. For example, you can say, uh, for example, you can add a question true or false. True is either true or is either false. Or you can ask a question with a list of possibilities, but where the only possible answer would be one. So the student will only have one possibility. If he selects the answer above, so the answer below will not be selected. We also see an example of this one. And the last type of question is a select, where you have a drop down. A drop down is a multiple questions, also multiple choice question, where you have a drop down of answers, but only one possible answer as this radio button. So please, you need to master these 5 types of questions, because they are these ones that we are going to use when we'll be building our assignment. When we be building our questions, we will need to know what type of question is it. And note that the system can also help you to correct, to rank or to score the student on these 4 types of questions. The system can help you correcting automatically, because the system would understand these choices. Let's go ahead and see how to build these questions. Remember, we are having we have 2 steps. We build first questions, and later we build assignments. So let us open our school gear. I hope you are on this page. You are logged in on this page. We go to LMS module as normal, but now, as we are talking about questions, we go here on question. We click left click. The already existing questions will be listed here. 21st question will be listed with the possibility of loading more if there are more questions. But for us, we are going to build questions. So I'm going to add now, you click here, new question. Remember, we only add a new question if we are talking about building these questions. When we be building assignment, we pick from the existing questions. So here, we pick, if we want to build assignments, we'll be picking from these existing questions. So to build questions, we click new question here. You give the title to your question. For example, I can say resolve. I'm going to start by resolve x plus 10 equals 5. I come here, I select the level. You can select, I don't know, it's primary 1, secondary 1, or I don't know the levels that your school will be having. Like the same way as you build syllabus, you select your level, and here you select the domain. I don't know, I'm just selecting biology, but you see that it's mathematics. But this is an example, you will select the correct domain. And here in description is where you add the details of your question. Remember, this one has to be as clear as possible so that you cannot get confused. Remember, the questions are shown as lists, so the title of the question has to be as clear as possible so that people don't get confused. Find x, or you can say x plus 10 equals 5, or x plus 5 equals 10. Find x. And I select here my level, and I select my domain here. So the details will come here. I'll say resolve the following question and find x. And you write just your question here. Please, we are going now here to select what is the type, what are we expecting as answer from the student. Is it the answer would be a single line, or is it a multiple lines? Is it a checkbox? Is it a radio button? Is it a select button? So now we are going to suppose that the answer would be the single line. So I click here, add this answer as single line. So I have here as a single input. The system is requires that you add a correct answer here, so that the system will know if the student submit an answer, the system will know what is the correct answer. So here, if you resolve, you will find that x equals 2. So the correct answer would be here 2. Here you can edit how this would be displayed. You see here, the student will have what is written here. You can tell the student, type your answer in the text box. And this one will be shown here. You can even add a help here that will be displayed here. The answer will be a digit, not in words. This one will be displayed here. If you are done with this one, remember we are building a single line question. So if you are done, we just validate our form, and the question will be congrats, new question added in database successfully. So we can delete this content. Now, if we go back to our questions, we'll find our question in the list. So let us add another question. Now I'm going to add a question with multiple lines. So what is that question? Maybe I'm going to ask, give the meaning of the colors of our country flag. You come here, you select your level and select your domain. Here you can give details. Given the flag below, please give the meaning of its colors. Here, as you see, I can add even an image of the flag. Let me look for that image in my computer. I'm going to add image from my pictures. I'm going to assume this is a flag of my country. I'm adding this image. So the image is uploaded here. So the student will see it as a flag. So given the flag below, please give the meaning of its colors. So we are expecting what? Multiple lines question, multiple lines answer. So here you can say, for example, type, write the meaning of each color one by one in the text box below. Here you can add a help as we saw just some. Here you can add a correct answer. You can say red means, or red means patriotism. White means peace. Yellow means courage. This is just an example. So if you are done with these multiple line questions, you go ahead and validate your form and you are done. The system will tell you, congrats, new question added in the database successfully. Just being here, you can, as we are having this congrats message, we can add a new question without going back. So we can go ahead and delete all this content. I do Control A to select all this text box. I delete the content. I add another title. Here now I'm going to make a question of checkbox. So here I'm going to say select the countries of East Africa, African community. Same level, same domain. So I'm going to describe my question here. Given the list of countries below, please select all the countries of the East African community. So here we are going to select, it's a checkbox, so we add here as a checkbox. So here I can add, how is it going to be displayed? Select, check all the possible answers. Now I'm going to say the help, I'm going to skip it, is not required. So here, let me first skip this one, any n correct answers. I will come back later. Let me first add options. I'm going to add those countries. So I'm starting by adding Ethiopia. This is not correct, so I add it, Ethiopia. I can say, for example, Rwanda. Remember, Rwanda is a country of East Africa, so this one is a correct answer. I add it. I can say, for example, Burundi. This is also in East Africa. I add it as correct answer. I can add Eritrea. This is not in East Africa, so it's not correct. I just add it. I can add Uganda. This is in East Africa. It is correct. I can add, for example, I can add United States of America. This one is not in East Africa, so I skip it. I don't add it as correct, I just add. So as you see here, as long as you are adding these options, they are given here in these checkboxes that are possible to be selected. The student would have passed this question if he selects Rwanda, Burundi, and Uganda. This one would be a correct answer. But here it comes, what if the student just selects Rwanda only? Is it a correct answer if he just selects Rwanda only? So this is defined here. Here, any incorrect answers. So if the student just give one correct answer, the system we give it as correct. But if you say, for example, here we have 3 correct answers, if the student must give all the three answers as correct, I type in here 3. So if here is 3 and the student just give Rwanda only, the student would have failed this question. If here is 2 and the student gives Rwanda and Burundi, so the student would have passed this question. The answer would be correct. So what if the student takes Rwanda, Burundi, and Eritrea? So this means there is a wrong answer, even though he has successfully selected these 2, but he is mistaken in this one, so this one would not be correct to the student. So I'm going to add here as 3 correct answers, and then I just validate it. I hope this one you have understood. It's required to have this number so that the computer knows if he gives one correct answer, will it be considered as correct or not? This one lets what would be decided as correct answer. And if you added wrongly an option, you can remove it. Here I've removed this one, but you can still add another option. You can say, for example, Namibia. You add it, so it's replaced. And when you are done building this question, you validate your form. You go up, you see the domain is required. So I have to select a domain here, a level here also. Okay, I validate form. You see, congrats, new question added in database successfully. So we are going now to add a radio button, a radio type question. Radio type question, let me add, let us say, in which country the coronavirus, what is the first country to declare have got the coronavirus? The first country to declare COVID-19. Primary. I can say, given the list of countries below, where was it said at the first time that COVID-19 is among us? So here I'm going to add radio. I can say, for example, only one answer is correct. So here I can add option 1. I can say United States of America. Add it. It's not correct, you know, I add it just as an option. I can say China. This one is correct, so I add it. I can add Singapore. Singapore is not correct. I can say, for example, I can say Sierra Leone. I just add it. So here you see there is only one possible answer. So here any incorrect answer will remain as 1. Don't change it. This one will be only one answer. But I'm going to give another example of radio button. Let me save this one. I'm going to add another question. Resolve the x plus 2 equals 1. Pay attention with this one, because this one will give you a way. Resolve find x plus 2 equals 1. Remember, this one, there are 2 possible answers. You can say that x can be 0.5 or x can be 1/2. These 2 are possible answers. So you can add this question as radio button and say, for example, I'm going to add it as radio button. Choose the best answer here. So the option 1, I can say equals 5. This is not correct. 0.5, this is 1 is correct, so add correct. I can say 1/2, this also is correct, but let me just 1/3, incorrect. 1/2, this one is correct. I can say 57. So here, if the student gives either this one, it will be correct, or this one is also correct. So I don't know if you understand this. The NN correct answer will remain as 1, but the correct answer would be either this one or this one. I hope this one is clear for you. So then you go ahead and validate your form. The question is now saved. We are going to the last part where we do the select. Is the same as radio button. The only difference is that the select you are going to have this the possibility as drop down. Let me give the example. What is the element more present in the earth or in the atmosphere? This one is secondary. Okay. Given, please select one most present element in the earth atmosphere. Must. So here I'm going to add a select, so I can add select the element. Here I can add options. I can say, for example, hydrogen. I'm not sure, this is not correct. I'm just adding. I'm not a chemistry. I'm not in chemistry, so I don't know the correct answer. So I'm just giving an example. Hydrogen, I can say azote. So maybe azote is the most present. Oxygen. Water. So here you see the select is here. You can click and see what is this, and the correct answer, we have these stars so that you know what is the correct answer. But the students will not see this as like this, they will just see it as questions. So we just validate our form, and we remember to keep this NN correct answer as 1 because it's in select. So we validate our form. So we are done now with building these questions. I hope everything was clear with building these questions in type of multiple, single line, multiple line, checkbox, radio button, and also select. Now we are going to build assignments to be given to students. So to build assignments, let us come back to the home page from here. To build assignment, you go to LMS module, and now you enter to course syllabus. Course syllabus. Being in your subject, you go, for example, I'm going to add an assignment of chemistry, or maybe add of biology. I click on my subject here, so I see add assignment. Add assignment. So are we together? We come from the LMS module, course syllabus. We go to our class and we click to the subject and then add assignment. When we are adding assignment, don't consider this. Don't consider this. When you are done adding assignments, we see here already the list of questions that are already in the system. So we just come and select any question we want. For example, I'm going to add this one. What is the element most present in atmosphere? I click here. I see this button, add. Click add. The question is brought above here. So you give the score of this subject. For example, I'm going to ask this question out of 5. You just type 5 here. and then you don't add assignment yet. Wait, you go down again, you select, I'm going to select another question. I add this question, for example, resolve x plus 2 equals 1. In this one, I'm going to also add this one. This one, I'm going to give it out of 3. I'm going to add another question. Let me add this one. Okay. This one out of 8. Add another question. Maybe this one also out of 10. I'm building my assignment now. You see, when we are building assignment, we select questions that are already existing in the system. I can add also this one. Yes, I add this one. So I can say, for example, this one is out of 8, 16, 26. So this one is out of 4, so that I have a reasonable assignment. So remember, after all that, if you don't save, your assignment is not there. And if you don't like this question, you can just remove it from here. If you click, this one will be gone, but I don't want to remove it, so I just add assignment here. Add assignment. When I'm done, my assignment will be listed in the list of assignments here with these 2 icons. One icon is to publish the question, the assignment, and this one is to open submissions. So you have to understand these 2 elements. This one, if this one is orange, the students are not yet seeing it, so you did not send it to students. So if you want a student to see it, you click on publish. If you click to publish, the eye will turn in green, so the student will be able to see it. If you don't want to show it to students, you just unpublish it. So I want to publish it to students. And again, if you want, because here the assignment is in the system, the students can see it, but they cannot submit answers. So if you want them to submit answers, also open here, open submission. And please make sure, don't unpublish it if you don't open submissions, because if you don't open submissions, students will also see the correct answers. Let me show you the example. I'm going to log in as a student. I'm going to show you. I'm going to log in as a student, and you see how the student is seeing your assignment. I'm a student in S1A, so I see there is a closed, you see, there is a closed assignment. This one is closed assignment. The student never submitted it, because here it's closed for submission, but it's visible to students. Students can see it, but it's closed. So you click here, you open, the student clicks here and sees the existing questions, and for each question, the student is shown this form. But he is unable to react on it as it's closed. So as teacher, now open submission so that student will be able to attempt on this. If the student comes now, the student sees submission is open. The question 1 is, what is the element most present in the atmosphere? For example, I'm going to select, you see, I can select, I'm going to say water, okay? Next question, resolve x plus 2 equals 1. This is out of 3, okay? Maybe the answer I'm going to give 0.5. Okay, what is the first country to declare COVID-19? Maybe I'm going to select not China, I'm going to select United States. Here I'm going to select the countries of East African Community: Ethiopia, Rwanda, Burundi, Eritrea, Uganda, Namibia, okay? And here, find x, I'm going to say that x is equals to 2. The student can save as draft or can submit his answer. So let me submit as my answer here. So as a teacher here, being here, let us maybe come back from the home page. We are going to open again LMS module, come to school syllabus. I'm going to go to my subject here, course and health science. I cannot see, I can open here my subject, my assignment. I will see submitted answers are here. Submitted answers are here. I can also close submission so that I can correct, I can start to give scores. So what I do here is then click on the name of the student who have submitted, and now I'm able to see his answers. What is the element most present? The student given water, but the correct answer is azote. So the system already has said he failed and gave him 0. Resolve this. The student gave 0.5 and is one of the possible best answers, so the system gave the maximum. The COVID-19 started from China, so the student selected United States and he failed. Here the student selected all those countries, but the correct answers were those 3. Here the student gave 2 in single line and is correct, and the system gave him this score. If you don't save, the student will not receive the results. But let me now show you, there is a possibility, for example, to say, even though he said water, it's correct. Let me consider it as correct and give him 4. So it's up to you as the teacher, it's up to you to decide to the question, to the answer that was submitted by the student. If you say, for example, he gave water and you consider it as correct, okay, even though the system has selected fail, you can use select success. Even though the system has provided 0, for you can give him 4 or any mark, and then you save. If you save for this student, you are done. If you will still see other list of students, the list of students here who have submitted. If you save, the student here, we now see submission closed and he received 11 out of 30. And for each question, we will be able to see what were the correct answer, azote. He was given 4 and the answer he gave is this one. Resolve this one, the correct answer is 0.5, it correct, and then the student gave a correct answer. Here, the first country to declare COVID-19, correct answer was China, but the correct answer was China, but the student gave United States, so that's why he's having 0. And select countries of East Africa, the student has selected all those countries, yet the correct answer was this one. So if the question here is x plus 5 equals to 5, find x single quote, okay. Here you see that the question, the student gave 2 and the correct answer is 2, and then he will awarded 4. So you see the total here is 4 plus 3 plus 4, 11. So he has got 11 out of 30. So I hope you have understood everything, how it's done. Remember, we build first questions and then we build assignment later. Please go ahead, watch again the video again and again so that you master how to build these assignments and how to send them to students. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because this channel is the only channel where we publish videos on how to use school gear. Thank you, and God bless you.